Most agencies treat you like a number. We built this one for the kid with no connections, no pathway in his home country, and no idea where to start in the pro scene overseas. That was me. Here's how it usually works. You pay someone promising you an opportunity, they throw you into a trial, usually one that isn't real, and disappear the second you land. There's no plan, no aftercare, just a bank transfer and a good luck. Most of these agencies are purely transactional. They're not building your future, they're not talking to you, they're just selling you short-term buzz. It's a broken model and no one talks about it because too many kids are afraid to speak out. They're embarrassed, they lost all their money, and ultimately they just don't know any better. The most common trap is fake trials with academies. You know, you pay a bunch of money, you show up and there's 80 other kids there and they say they've got scouts watching you, but ultimately no one's watching, no one's doing anything with you. Or my personal favorite, you've got guys that are DMing you on Instagram, letting you know that they're an agent just because, you know, they're pushing out content, and then asking you to send a bunch of money as a deposit to a random bank account. Most of them don't even have a real network. They're just taking your money and praying something sticks, or just bamboozling you because you just have no idea what's going on anyways. I touch on a lot of this stuff in these two main videos that you should definitely check out after this video. But for this one, I just kind of felt like waking up today and talking about why I think we are the best and why we actually pretty much are the best in Australia. So strap up because you're about to experience a few minutes of me ego stroking. So here's actually a really good point and something that I always say. Most agents have 1 to 3 clubs that they work with, right? 1 to 3 clubs that they have access to. Now think about this. There are over 8 billion people in this world. The idea that one of those 3 clubs is going to be your perfect fit, kind of like thinking that your high school girlfriend's your soulmate. Prob's not, big dog. And most of these guys are really just like sleazy salesmen. They wear a pretty suit, they make you know, they look like an agent, they're in the right environment, but really they're all broke and they have no real value to offer anyone. Unlike EFA. I'm gonna give you a sushi analogy here. For example, I'm gonna give you this sushi analogy, right? Let's say one day you wake up and you really have a hankering for sushi. And you've got 2 options. Go to the place that does sushi, kebabs, and pizza, which you know probably going to be mediocre all 3, or go to the place that just does sushi, the sushi train. Which one do you think you're gonna get better sushi at? Obviously, the Japanese one, people just do sushi, that's all you want sushi, right? The sushi here is gonna be very mediocre. So that's how you should look at people that agents, right? That are just agents, and then people here who say they're an agent, they're a coach, they sell you a tour, they sell you experience or whatever, right? Another big differentiator, we just do the one thing. Everyone else is trying to make money from every single avenue that they can with you. The other point here is the place that does sushi, kebabs, and pizza also is probably just a one-man army. It's that one kebab guy on the storefront, and he's serving the customers, he's doing the cooking, he's doing the cleaning, he's doing everything. Whereas when you go to a sushi place, you've got one person just doing the waitering, one person just making the rice. You got a few cooks, you've got a couple of cleaners. Like you have a full dedicated team, and everyone has their own set of operations. EFA functions exactly the same way. Players that come through us get a hoist of team members, right? We have team members spread out doing everything. So not a one-man army, right? Not one person doing everything for every single player. It is impossible. The quality just depreciates so fast in those setups. And 99% of people are set up as one-man army, right? Because they just can't afford, and they also just don't want to reinvest to actually have a proper setup. And because they suck, so they have no growth. That being said, I've also seen really good clubs with really bad operations. So clubs that have a really good football philosophy, but terrible operations, or really good staff but awful residency setups. I'm talking like 4 or 5 players crammed into one room. That's not right, and we refuse to send players to setups like that. That's why at EFA, we audit every club. We look at their pathway up, how they treat players. We even put clauses in our agreements that protect players and demand that our boys get proper opportunity so they're not just showing up and fading out. I was 17 when I left Australia in pursuit of my dreams. I had no connections, I had no help, ultimately just desire. And I hustled for 2 years. I trialed at random academies and random teams across Spain and Portugal for 2 years. Most of them were complete time wasters. Even a lot of big names that I went to really just wanted training dummies. The whole time I was thinking, why isn't there anyone that cares about amateur players? Why is there no one that cares about this process? That's when I realized I need to build the agency that I wish I had at 17. We're not perfect, but we actually give a shit. And that already makes us different. Simply put, at EFA, we don't operate solo. We have a full team dedicated for every player. We have real club partners who actually trial players and sign them. Every player player has a development focus, regardless of goals. You're not just there for exposure. We give feedback, report on progress, and help you course correct. There's a full structure behind this. You're not getting ghosted after your flight. And players appreciate this. I mean, you can see in our success stories, pretty much like 70% of our success stories are people that trialed 2, 3, 4 times overseas. Players have been working with for 2, 3+ years. So obviously they found the value in staying with us in sort of the longer term, because ultimately when things didn't go to plan that first trip, we stayed with them, we re-elaborated, we sent them to different trials, we kept supporting, we reworked the strategy, shifted clubs, and made it work. And that's the difference with us. It's not about what happens when everything's perfect. It's about who's in your corner when it's not. If you're serious about testing yourself with real professional clubs overseas, and you want to work with people who actually care about you long term, book a call with my team. It's free. You can ask anything. We'll give you a real answer, even if that answer is you're not ready yet, because that's how it should be. We don't work with everyone, but if you do make it, we'll go to war with you.